Hi, I'm Lucy.
I'm Emily.
I'm Alistair.
And I'm Rachel, and together we are the Furrow Collective. Welcome to the Hudson Records Listening Club. We are going to talk about our 2018 album, Fathoms, which was produced by Andy Bell, who is also with us.
Hi, Andy.
Hi, Andy.
Hi, Andy.
Hello. Should we start then?
Yeah.
This is Davy Louston.
Oh, my name was Davy Louston. I did sail. Oh, my name was Davy Louston. I did sail. Though my men and I were lost, though our very lives it cost, we did sail.
Ali gets so low there.
I thought it was Rachel.
That's usually me, but I'm so high. Never that high.
Set down in open bay, we were set down.
I think that's the most I've ever
It's
sung.
the highest I've ever sung, so.
It's because where you come in, Rach, Ali pings to the low.
Down in open bay, we were set
I
down.
think that bed coming in underneath is
Left
it the harmonium in the studio that we're using?
I think we used the shruti.
And the concertina.
Never forget the concertina.
Never forget.
Don't forget the concertina.
Do you remember when we tried to record this live video of this song at the Sage
It was so windy.
in about 3
Oh
hours?
my god.
Let's forget that.
Yeah. People with dogs kept passing and stuff. Do you remember that? Oh my god.
High winds.
And then the bridge started beeping and coming up.
It took like 2 hours to.
It was like a disco guy busking.
I'll return men without fail.
Oh, and we've got the bowls going. That was the other thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, the singing bowls.
Yeah.
And there's the other thing that's on there is we built a little bed out of, I think it was Rachel, Emily and Lucy's vocals. And there's like a little
yeah.
bed and it's
Oh,
really
yeah.
messed up. And actually I've used that on this here. That's you guys singing.
You used it on something else.
I think so, yeah. I can't remember where. There's always little. I've used little bits.
You're going to have to pay us royalties.
I know. Well, yeah. You try and find it. I like using little bits of tiny little things like that. It's cool.
I love that part, actually. That's one of my best bits still.
Home where the icebergs
One of the things I liked about this track was because I felt like Wild Hog, the previous album, kind of really brought on your harmony singing as a band. Like you felt like you all sat together after you started touring that album. So like I felt like when we were coming into this album that it was really important we got the harmony singing
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, I think we have definitely got better over the albums, haven't we? Of just like knowing where our places are or something in the
Yeah, although that
scheme of things.
this particular track definitely was us doing different things, but I think we've got used to singing our tones kind of singing together these days.
I love that change from one track to the other.
So
Yeah.
very, very sweet that they
What was that, Rach?
charmed the heart.
I love that change from one track to the other there. I remember us talking about that, Andy, in the studio.
Them the sparkling wine. She gave to them the brandy.
It's really quite stavesy when that comes in. It's almost Nick on the
We were
stage
like,
song.
should we? Well, it was, wasn't it, Andy? Remember, it was even in the same key.
I didn't realise that.
Yeah, it was.
The Lord came inquiring for his
I was
lips.
just thinking about you saying that we all sort of morph into each other.
She's gone.
I think it might have actually been on the album before or this album where I was singing a harmony under Ali and you just kept soloing it and I'm doing an awful Scottish accent just to kind of fit in.
That comes later on in the album. Definitely happens in this album.
The BS nurse's speedy on.
This one with cardboard box percussion.
Oh
yeah.
With a little.
It's like tapping a little cardboard box. Career highlight.
I feel like I've got photos of that somewhere. I should try and find them. If you like.
It's quite difficult actually.
Until he found his newly wedded wife in the arms of the dark-eyed gypsy.
Sorry, I just want to sing along.
It'll be out of sync if you do.
So this that little bit came from a different version of this song that I found in what was that? The Book of the Horse on the front. Steve Roud.
Steve Roud's book, English Penguin Book of English Folk Songs.
Yeah, well, the new one. So yeah, that little bit was nicked from that.
Why did you leave your house?
There's two versions of the same song, but in the same song.
Yeah. I remember us putting them together.
And why did you leave your newly wedded lord to follow
it was at a gig somewhere remote.
Yeah, and it took us a while to figure out how they would fit together, but we knew they would somehow.
And what can offer my children
I sound quite Scottish there.
drink of the dew and follow the dark-eyed gypsy.
That's Scottish.
Funny because it's an Irish.
Last night I'll leave.
Yeah, but you're Scottish.
Yeah.
And we just start singing an Irish accent.
That would be hilarious.
When I sing in a fake Irish accent.
Next album. I always imagine us as little mini versions of ourselves on Ellie's shoulders. Just
I was thinking of the Chipmunks.
yeah.
Alvin, Simon and Theodore.
We all have to sing so high, don't we? I think in all of our ranges, we're all like,
They sang so sweet, so
look cool.
Yeah, because you would always go to Emily's harmony and then it'd be like, oh no, there's another one up.
No,
Oh no,
It's like, oh my God.
get up.
Love that ending loose.
Taught by Rachel, my fiddle mentor. Come on, with a flourish.
Finish with a flourish.
So those two songs that, because they kind of segued, what's the score with both of them? Who found what and brought what out of those?
So I had Davy Lowson in my head for a long time off Martin Carthy and Dave Swarbrick album. Just gotta look at the notes and see which one it was actually. Biker Hill LP. So my dad had lots of folk records when I was growing up, so I listened to quite a lot of that. And I guess I just, I loved the song. So, and it was a long time. I used to sing it in pubs and stuff when I was, if ever I had to sing in a pub, I'd generally sing that one. And yeah, so just.
I think I remember hearing you sing it in a pub in Sidmouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well then, yes, testify. So yeah, and then I just suggested it and everyone liked it, so.
I seem to remember that one being one of the first ones we recorded and it just came together. I think we hadn't really even put the harmonies together and we just did them, didn't we, in the studio at Giant Wafer. And I just remember being it was a really exciting moment actually when it all just kind of came together.
I think that's often our vibe, isn't it? If we do a song and it works straight away, we're like, yes.
Yeah.
And if there's any sort of struggle, we're like, nah, this clearly is not faked.
Yeah.
We are not supposed to do this song.
No uphill struggles.
Yeah. But yeah, that's...
Oh yeah, the Dark Eyed Gypsies. I found that on an old LP, a record called Singing Men of Ulster. Traditional songs from Ulster. And Cathal O'Boyle was the name of the singer. And there's so many versions of that ballad all over the place. England, Scotland, Ireland, North America. But I never really found one that I wanted to sing until hearing that one. But I think his was quite fragmentary, so I think I added some extra lyrics from Child's English and Scottish Popular Ballads book. Yeah. And then obviously Lucy added the extra chorus from an English
I
version.
should have found the book. I'll see who it is, but did I put it on here?
Does it not say in the notes? It might say in the
It
notes.
might do, yeah.
If you buy the album,
Harry
yeah,
Cox.
if you buy the album, it'll say in our
Cox.
sleep
Oh
notes.
yeah, it's all
Oh,
got
I was going to say that, and then I thought
depth.
I shouldn't.
Brian Cox.
No, Harry.
I nearly spat out my gin.
Oh yeah. I think the notes that I might have must be a bit out of date because they don't have the information about Lucy's part in them, but I think it does on the actual CD, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, I've got it here. So it's from Child's English and Scottish Popular Ballads chorus from Harry Cox's version as reproduced in the New Penguin Book of English Folk Songs. So yeah,
Hold on, Luce.
thank you. I think when that book came out, the New Penguin Book, I think I had to do some for Bath. This is off topic possibly, but for Bath Literature Festival, Steve Roud was doing a talk about the book, and me and Jackie Oates and a few other people were asked to sing some songs. So I chose, I think, that one to learn. And then when Ali that was years ago, and then when Ali sang it, I was like, I've got this snippet in my head somewhere, and it kind of fitted. Even though it was a slight puzzle, but it was cool.
It goes really nicely.
Yeah, it's a nice little.
It slots in really well.
I remember us having a bit of a kind of conversation in the studio about it. Like, I think Emily was possibly Emily was the worried one. I don't know what makes me think that, but that we were using it too much, and I think we did edit it down.
Yeah.
Quite
Yeah,
a
we
bit.
did.
I think there was
It's
just
quite
a few
irritating,
points.
isn't it, after a while?
Yeah, there's a few points where it just was just like, quite a serious dramatic point in the song, and then suddenly we were like jumping out from behind a bush going,
Chipmunks.
gypsies. It's like, no, it can't be there. It can't be there.
We should probably make a music video for that song. Like,
I think
us
less is
tiny
more. Yeah. Tiny little chipmunks.
Just realised I've got a halo on the
yeah.
video at the moment. It's quite cool.
you do always, Andy.
Yeah, nice. Cool. So, shall I play the next one?
Oh, when you play it, Andy, can
Yeah.
you turn it down a bit? Because I can't hear anyone.
Okay, yeah.
I,
There we go. Okay, False Lover Won Back, which I always confuse with False True Love, because it's got the word
Yeah.
false in both titles.
False.
False.
confusing.
Ooh,
Yes.
Love this start.
I can't even remember that's doing that.
Oh, I recorded that
Oh, yeah, you
synthesizer
did,
part at
didn't
home
you?
and
Yeah.
sent it to you. Yeah.
The sun shines high on yonder hill and low on yonder dell. The place where me and my love dwells.
Beautiful
The sun
banjo
it
playing, Emily.
never goes down, bonny love. The sun it never goes down. Go saddle to me the bonny black steed, or saddle to me the brown, that I might ride all around, bonny love. That I might ride
Remember,
all
I kind of made up the chords just quite randomly what I was doing, and
It's when
Yeah.
made it really impossible to replicate live.
There was a lot of regret,
Emily
wasn't there?
nearly had a meltdown.
I just remember being just like, just so many pages of like chords. Oh.
But you
We just gave up in the end.
Seemed like a good idea.
Did Ali do this on electric guitar? On bass? Did you do it on bass?
No, that's a harp, I think.
Sounds like a bass there, doesn't it?
It's Rachel.
No, it is harp.
She kilted up her gay clothing and fast followed she, bonny
That was
love.
Lucy doing the percussion, wasn't it?
Was that what was in my little?
That was your little
Chopsticks.
chopsticks, wasn't it?
There's chopsticks and then the
On the fiddle.
I had lots of like those little. What they called?
shells.
Yeah.
Jim Molyneux has those shells. We found that out in a previous listening club that he'd stolen the shells off the Lost Words.
You know me again. The next in town that they came to, he bought her a brooch and a ring, and he bathed her in a tar new, and no more
There's some like foot stomping in this.
follow him.
I think it's classic Furrow foot stomp. Just on the floor in a random
Socks
place.
on the floor.
And it's hard when I like you so well, and you know me again, buddy love. You know me again.
Analog techno beat.
They came to
Yeah.
he bade her dry her roses.
I love those ding ding. What are they?
Buddy love, he would take her with him. It's love for
Oh, and I'm doing that, am I?
It's a synthesizer.
Yeah,
I'm doing
that
the
is your synth.
chopsticks on my fiddle.
you for me, buddy love. There's
Yeah.
none but
Yeah.
you for me, buddy love.
Oh, Jesus, we tried to do this live, do you remember? It was horrific. I mean, we thought it was going well, and then, like, did it
I
a
think
few
it
times.
worked one time, and then it,
Oh,
yeah,
dear God.
it
And
was,
then we
it
watched
was
the
kind of
video of
unpredictable.
it. I was like, oh my God. It was the only thing you could hear was me, like, ah! And it was like down tuned, it was awful. Oh my God.
It was one time it worked though, I think, really well.
Okay, thanks, Rich. I
Just
don't
the
know.
once. Just the once.
Just one time.
I remember you sending that synth and thinking, oh, I don't know whether that's going to fit or not. And then I think we did take quite a lot of it out in the middle. Or maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know, but it really works actually. It's just like kind of...
I think it kind of balances out
the
the
space and stuff.
quite sort of sweetness of the song or something. Like it's quite, I don't know, jaunty.
Yeah.
Maybe too jaunty for my liking. And I think that synth kind of sound just...
That was the whole thing about
Yeah,
that song,
give it
wasn't
an
it? You were like, we've got to get it. Whew, we've
Yeah.
got to pull
I
it
know.
down.
It's weird because I obviously, like, I brought it to the table, but then I was like, the song needs to be not as cheery.
Yeah. But what was Ali playing? What were you? What guitar were you playing? A guitar? I can't remember what you were playing.
I think I did it on an electric guitar. Yeah, originally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even remember where we did that. We must have done it at Giant
was at
Wafer.
That was
Wayfair.
Giant Wafer.
Yeah.
So
So
I
we did
remember
we
being
did
in
the
the-
album in two studios, didn't we? We did it at Giant Wafer in Mid Wales, and it was it the first session you'd done, Emily, after having Ivor?
Yeah, yeah. He was
I think
really
we were young.
little. It was winter, wasn't it? It was right. It was like
December, I think.
early. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
January?
Or January?
Stuck there
January.
because of this snowstorm.
No,
That
we got
was
stuck
in
in
the later.
Woodworm.
That was in
Woodworm,
Woodworm.
Different studio. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh sorry. Yeah.
That was like extreme cabin fever, wasn't
That was
it?
crazy. I remember it was so heavy, and on the radios it was saying, you're advised not to travel.
It was the
And
Beast
we'd-
from the East.
Yeah, and we'd been there for a couple of days, and it was
Imagine
just
if
suddenly.
we were locked down there. Couldn't get out. Oh my God.
Actually, I kind of miss the Beast from the East. It seems so innocent by comparison. Bring back the Beast from the
Bring
East.
back the beast.
So we did most of the session at Giant Wafer in January then, and then we went to Woodworm, which is Fairport Convention's Dave Pegg's old studio in near Banbury, and it's a really cool studio. And if people were watching Listening Club last week, it's where we did a lot of Martin Simpson's album as well. And yeah, and there was like I think I slept in the kitchen on that session maybe. And there was about five or six of us in very small accommodation.
Yeah, we all crammed in. That's why we had to leave, I think, so abruptly. We had a couple of days with the snow, and then we were just like, bye!
And it was that, and that was the first session you brought Ivor to as well, who was probably 7 months old or something at that point. Or
I cannot remember.
Yeah, I think
must be. 8
I remember
months,
him in
so-
Woodworm. He was like 8 months, I think. So it was March.
The first
kind of.
one, he was there in Giant Wafer, though, as well. It's just that
He wasn't there, yeah.
he was, my partner Will was
Yeah.
looking after him and kind of kept him out, but whereas I brought him and Debbie came down and looked after Ivor, and we were all just in the one little studio. But yeah, considering that, I think we did pretty well.
We watched a lot of daytime telly, didn't we? I
Yeah.
seem to remember.
I didn't.
And
might
you,
have.
yeah, you was
I mean, in
In fact,
the days
I don't think I did
afterwards.
either. We played
but the
cards.
days that we were
I
stuck there.
remember.
Yeah.
But after you left, Andy, you left us there.
Well, I abandoned you because we were about to have our first baby as well. So, like,
Oh my
about
goodness.
two weeks
Yeah.
later, she was due or something. So I was
my
like, I'm going to go before I get stuck here.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
remember we were terrified, about not being able to get back to Scotland. Rachel, do you remember you heroically drove us back to Glasgow?
Yeah, because we thought it was going to be...
Scotland.
It wasn't actually as bad as we thought, was it?
No.
We got back. We made it.
No, it was really fast actually because there was no traffic.
So this is Write Me Down.
That cardboard box percussion again.
Come write me down.
It was clapping.
And there's cardboard box in there.
First created a man to love.
Yes,
Lucy's got the loudest
it was
clap
me
in the
on the
world.
cardboard box.
Diamond in
Yeah.
my
But I think
Champion.
actually I may have clapped for this.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was
yes.
my special job
Lucy
because
was usurped.
I
yeah.
can't even hear your clapping, Emily. It's so pathetic. I can't hear it.
Andy asked me and I was like, no, Lucy's the clapper. And he said, don't worry, we don't need a loud clapper for this one. So I was quite proud.
Lucy was raging.
Just like,
Pathetic rubbish.
Like a pistol shrimp.
would me and
That was my nickname for a bit. Where's that gone?
friends at your advice. Oh, I never intend to marry at all, nor be at
It's
any.
coming handy on a Thursday night at 8 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
For the key workers.
Oh my god, we're the only people that come out on our street.
Oh no.
There's one guy comes out a little bit further up and he just revs his motorbike as loud as he can and doesn't look at anyone.
Kind of aggressive.
It makes a lot of noise, but we're like,
She says, don't go, young man, but stay, oh stay.
Enjoyed all the unison singing on this one.
And I never will
Got a great groove, this, actually.
but
Yeah, it's got
It's
a nice.
always, it's like a,
swing.
I always think of it as a skank, you know.
come write me down, you powers above, who first created.
I have this vague memory of,
For
did I play Wurlitzer in this or did someone else play Wurlitzer?
Yeah.
all my
So,
joys and
so I play my tenor in this.
yeah.
First
Oh,
time
yeah.
your tenor makes an appearance.
Yeah.
Tenor guitar.
That was exciting.
It was.
It's quite interesting. A lot of these songs are quite short, aren't they? Really short for a folk album.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I guess we do a lot of ballads and I think songs like that come in really handy to kind of break up the ballads.
Yeah, but I'm just
Yeah.
looking on here and there's not a single song over 5 minutes long.
Yeah, I think we ended up with more songs like that than we expected.
Yeah.
Who was that? Who that was? Did you bring that, Emily?
I did, yes. That was one from Cecilia Costello, who was a singer whose parents were Irish but grew up in Birmingham and was recorded in the 1950s by the BBC. And I sing loads of her songs because they're just brilliant, really good.
Maybe that's where the skank comes from. The ska
Yeah.
bit from Brunt. Yeah.
That's it. I was just picking up on that subtle
Bit of UB40
cultural
in there.
reference. Yeah, but I guess I was looking for, because I know we do quite a lot of death songs, and I was looking for something to counteract that, and that was about the most happy, cheerful song I could find.
Yeah, I'm conscious of that. Like, what I like ballads, but often they're really tragic. So it's nice to try and find things that are a bit lighter.
I feel, weren't we worried that
variety.
there was a really low death count in this album for a bit? We were like, where's the...
Yeah,
happening?
like it's
We
swung the
don't-
other way. Yeah, too much.
It's too much. Rein
Too
it
much
in.
happiness.
But now looking back, I'm like, it's not that much happy. Anyway, but
Yeah, I mean, there is the cruel mother on the album. So.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
False
Yes.
True.
isn't that the next track?
That could have been a beautiful segue,
it's
but no.
False True Love is the next one. Yeah, almost a perfect
Yeah.
Oh,
segue. But so this is you, Lucy, right? So
Oh,
Yeah.
Love this one.
yeah, one of my faves.
Yeah.
yeah, this came out really nicely in the studio.
Yeah. So this was a giant wafer, wasn't it? Remember you, Andy? Speed it up, Farrell. Faster. And I was like, ah. How slow was it before this?
True love.
who knows? Probably got recorded somewhere.
Sit for a while with me, for it's been 3/4 of a long year.
So yeah, I got this from Shirley Collins, Young Hunting LP. No, Sweet Primroses. What's this called? Learning. So yeah, it's kind of like the love song from the ballad of Young Hunting. So just like a snippet of the ballad.
I really love those little points on the song where you can hear Lucy's voice kind of in chorus or something. I don't know what you were doing, Andy, but it's great.
Probably where I've tuned it, to be honest.
I love those tuned bits, those in-tune bits.
Love the bits that are in tune.
My old true love, and your head.
This came together really quick as well, didn't it? Right, should I play it to you first? I was like, and you just went, that was like perfect.
This came together so quickly that I literally, I think I just had a quick break, I think to feed Ivor or something, came back and you'd recorded it and it was absolutely beautiful and I was just like, it was great.
It's quite hard. It doesn't need much.
Emily, didn't you play harmonium on it or something?
I played this. This is when I came in.
Yeah.
I play so little in this, but it just didn't need much.
But what, didn't you have to tune this harmonium? So actually when you were recording it, it sounded disgusting.
Awful.
Yeah.
It's really out of tune.
Pitch shifted in the headphones,
And it's really loud as well. It was the one you have to kind of pump the bellows, and it's really creaky. But I liked it.
I remember walking past the room and just be like, "What is happening?"
Yeah. It was quite hard. We had to really restrain just doing harmonies all over it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's so easy to sing along.
Yeah, we had to. It's so much better because we didn't do it too much.
All the way through. It was hard for me in particular because
You can't help but singing along.
the harmony force is strong.
That will light upon a man for treating a poor girl so.
I love that.
I love that song. I'm loving all these songs. It's so nice to listen to the album.
You should buy the album, Em.
Here it is. Who made this album? It's so good. I feel like I genuinely love this album though. I don't listen to it very much, but when you're just like, actually, I have to admit, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to come out and say it.
It's funny, isn't it? Because it probably didn't quite have the kind of. By the way, Lucy,
Nobody else loved it.
Just us.
Lucy, could you switch a light on or something? Because you look like you're in darkness.
You've gone very dark.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it didn't get the kind of plaudits and the kind of just as much throw really as Wild Hog did, but it seemed to go a little bit more under the radar. And I mean, I don't think we did much different with it, or less with it than we as a label than we did with Wild Hog, but it just it didn't seem to go quite as far. And it's weird because I think actually it sounds more of a more mature album than Wild Hog in a lot of ways.
Maybe it's just the case with when anyone makes a third album, people think, oh no, here they are again with another album. It's probably not going to be that much different. But I do think it's quite different, actually.
It is.
I think all the 3 albums that we've made have been quite different.
I think so. And I personally, I just feel really proud of this. I feel like it's a pleasure to listen to. So.
Oh, that's nice. I was going to say, this next one, Cruel Grave, I think the artwork, where is it? I'll put it up there. It's just so cool for this song.
Yeah, I love that. They're all great, but that's a particularly good one, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, all the artwork's like...
It's so lovely. So that was Desdemona McCannon, who did lots of prints for every song and then put them all together for the front cover.
It's lovely.
Yeah, and she did. We should have got T-shirts of that, and we never did. We should do. She's just done another album for us that we're going to bring out, hopefully sometime soon. It's like a kind of Norwegian free improv orchestra, and for Slovakian Romani traditional museums. It's musicians, and it's this really crazy soundscape live album, and she just did a load of prints and stuff for that. So the cover is not that dissimilar, to be honest, and it's just so cool. You can't really tamper with what she's done, really.
Yeah,
it's
great.
just amazing. Yeah, Cruel Grave.
Oh, it's 7 long years since my true love
Yeah, Ali.
left me.
And through the tour, Ali got more and more like, wow.
Since he went to sea.
Remember Andy thought at first that I was using too much reverb and it was a bit too prog.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Till he comes.
Do you remember that? I think you were right. I was getting carried away.
Rein him in.
Yeah, normally I'm right.
I lie
Yeah.
in my bed and I often wonder.
Of course.
I lie in my bed and I often pray.
That's me on that. That's me on the crazy pump organ again.
Will he send my true love back home
Yeah.
to me? Now who
weird
is
shell.
Oh yeah, this is
Yeah.
new.
who is at my window?
Love Lucy doing all the shell stuff. It was great.
Who's keeping me up?
This was basically, this whole thing felt really improvised. Like we didn't really practice this one, did we? We just played
Yeah, we
it.
did it. I think it was kind of late night as well, wasn't it? That we recorded it gently for I think.
Do we do it together?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Did we?
Maybe I was just in a different room.
I was
with
in a
the
different room from
organ.
everyone, but I think we did it at the same time.
Will you open your door?
The morning was an overdub.
Let me in. For I
again?
am cold, love, and I am weak, and I am wet.
Really great vocal arrangement.
Am I playing the fiddle?
So she's
That's me, I think.
opened the door
Yeah.
with the
Oh.
greatest of pleasure.
Not at the same time.
On the door and she let him in, saying, if you're my young man, you have changed your colour. You're not like the young man I used to know.
I remember trying to. Well, I remember it was like a plan to do like a sort of scratchy, like quite fiddle line, and I was like, I can do that. It's gonna be no problem. Old sounding.
Sounds like, are you in a different tuning or something?
And they
I
went
think I was actually. I can't remember.
until
It's like a
the
journey or
small
something.
cock he began
Yeah,
to
I think.
grow.
Yeah, no, I do remember tuning it.
He said,
remember what
I
to-
must always.
I feel like there was another one that we had to tune down for. Me and you were doing something. Anyway.
Yeah.
She said, my dear love, oh please don't leave me. Oh, will they
Like that, there's no instrumental in this. Like, there's no set kind of thing.
It's like a non-guitar
Yeah, I really
solo.
like that.
please don't leave me. Oh,
It's nice not to have
Anti-solo.
that set thing.
stay with me. He said, I must away, dear. I can stay no longer. For it's far away.
What's that effect on my voice, Andy?
I have to go. And when I'm gone, love,
I think there's just delay on your vocal, but there's like this really low rumble going on, and I think that is actually stolen from a different recording that I might have put on that was
Oh,
on.
was it mine?
It's a track
No.
that we did with
Was it-
Lucy's band in Giant Wafer as well, where the guys just they went in the live room and they just played. I think they were getting a bit angsty about having to play slightly softer singer-songwriter music, and I think the drummer and bass player and baritone trombonist. Was he baritone trombone? I think so. Went into the live room and just played really, really loud for like 15 minutes, and we recorded the whole thing, and then I just like smashed it through these compressors that they got at Giant Wafer that are I can't remember what they're called, but they're like a Fairchild kind of like US Fairchild replica kind of thing, and just smashed it up. And then that little bit of noise is on, I think it's on the end of a track on Neil McSweeney's album, and it's on that as well, I think.
I
it's never actually come out. Yeah, but it's never actually come out on a Lucy record yet.
Just nicked it for everything else.
Every Hudson record.
You're going to have to find a way of getting it in there.
It's just ground.
Like a little signature.
Drone, yeah.
I feel like as well that we record. I liked the ending of that with the organ kind of creaky pipes, and I think a lot of those atmospheric sounds worked really well, like throughout the album, but on that track particularly.
FYI, there was no pipes on that organ.
What was that?
There was no pipes on that organ. It was a harmonium.
Oh, sorry. Whatever it was. I don't know what it was.
Creaky pedals.
Creaky pedals is what I meant. It's all such a blur.
I really love Duncan Williamson, the singer that Rachel learnt this from. He's like one of my heroes. Duncan Williamson, a Scottish traveller singer who died about 12 years ago, but he was also an amazing storyteller. And, just a great guy.
I got that from a book, The Traveller's Joy, which they'd collected his version of that. And apparently it was collected in Ladybank in Fife in 2001.
Yeah, that's where he lived.
It's amazing that so
I think he was
recently.
from the west coast of Scotland, but he died in Fife. He lived in Fife at the end of his life on the east coast.
Yeah. The Cabin Boy. Anyone got anything to say about me?
I just remember singing, like along with Ali in Woodworm in a room, just singing really, really low and feeling quite weird, but loving it.
Sultry.
I was like, that's all I remember. Enjoying it.
I think we're all really exploring our vocal ranges on this record.
Yeah. I feel like we were a bit like, let's just go for it and just try stuff.
I think that was a thing as well at the time. I remember doing quite a few records where I was trying to get people to double things up in different voices, or like, I don't know, if you did a clarinet line on something, I'd want it on a little synth as well that would sound similar to it but not the same, so you kind of get these double textures, and I think we might have been trying to do that a bit as well, like
and also
so Ali
we
was
were
singing high and Rachel singing
and
kind of
I think we were just because like you were saying about we were like getting more used to singing in harmony. We also wanted to make sure that we did things where it wasn't just us singing a 4-part harmony the whole time. So and sometimes it's like hearing each other's voices, like two voices together.
Yeah, and actually this was just you two, wasn't it? Yeah.
The Scots.
It's their turn.
I remember. I'll tell you after.
Tell you later.
Yeah, I think I recorded that banjo in.
Oh yeah. Loved it when that came on board. It was great.
Turned up.
I think I bought that at the Barrows in Glasgow. It's like a cross between a banjo and a mandolin.
In love with a little cabin boy and slighted lord and knight.
This one's got a bit of a thing about it as well, isn't it?
Shore with me, my boy.
I love your heart part.
On shore with me. I didn't want any lord or knight. My mind is bound to thee. Again, your love for me is great. Mine is greater still. But ye monk to my captive her for his goodwill. So she's to the captain gate, grant me my will, said she. Give to me your little cabin boy to tarry on shore.
What do I do?
I was just thinking that.
We don't do anything.
Why do you guys do this?
No, where's my part? Where am I going to come in?
I think that was the good thing about this album, actually, because it was that you didn't
We were
have
on
to.
it, not much left.
Lucy, I just stamped occasionally.
But you didn't have to play on all the tracks, you know.
It was quite
No, no, I
relaxed,
know.
and it was a bit like, who's around, who's about
Yeah.
for this one? Let's just
But I think you're probably remembering, because we obviously got this together for live afterwards.
Oh,
and
yeah,
we
it's
developed
nice,
it. It's
isn't it?
quite different now.
Yeah.
Billy Coo, said she.
You play the solo, Lucy, in this live.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
And
Oh, and I play the bowl.
Yeah, like,
Yes,
I played the bowl.
we both play the bowls, the singing bowls in the live version,
Yeah.
don't we?
and the waves toss to and fro.
So many people that had never seen the bowl coming up to you going, what were you doing in that song?
yeah. It's like with the Shruti box as well, when you just got it next.
Remember the
what
first
is-
gig
what's
was like,
the
there's so many things.
Yeah.
Small box.
Got your own station.
Yeah, and then like by the end of the tour, you had like one thing.
Just left them everywhere.
And Billy was never seen. It was in young Girdham Green, on green and grassy ground. Early when her feather here rose, this lady's
I think the thing as well I quite like about this album is, well, maybe generally a bit with the Furrows, it's quite,
black.
a lot of it's quite sort of 70s retro-y,
Her face
trad
I think we know
folk
who-
sounding, but
Who to
it's,
thank for that?
but it's
died for
but it's not at the same time. It's got loads of little contemporary bits to it that I think
Yeah.
well, yeah, clearly Ali is the 70s folk scene basically in one human being, but you know, it's like
What do you reckon about that, Ali?
I know it's funny. It's funny because I've been doing this like 10 albums thing on Facebook, and like I think about 7 of my 10 albums are from like between the year 1970.
A lot of good
and
stuff happened then.
1975. I'm like, I wasn't even born, but it's something about that era. Just
Sorry, Ali.
appeals
By
to
the
me.
way, I know you've nominated me
so
twice
it's
for that, and
fair cop.
I've not taken you up.
No, don't worry about it. I mean,
I've been enjoying it. I've
I'd
been
never
enjoying
done
your
it
one,
until
though.
now,
Following your one.
so.
it's a really cool because there's this there is this really really retro feel, but there's those of these little contemporary bits that come in and out, and I think that's pretty cool, really.
I don't know. I never think of what we're doing as particularly retro. Like personally,
No, I don't
feel
think you
like
mean to do it. I think it just does have a kind of retro flavour.
Yeah,
you
no, I
know?
know what you mean.
Yeah. And I guess as well, I'm kind of, it's all coming back to me now that we hadn't actually rehearsed together for the album, had we? Before we got in the studio together, and I think that's partly for me, like listening back to it now, it does have that real fresh feeling, and we hadn't actually played some of those songs at all till we got there, and so I actually felt like for me that was quite scary in a way, but actually to listen to it feels like it's quite exciting to hear it back. And even though the songs have really developed a lot live since, I think it kind of captures them at that point when we were just kind of coming to them and responding to them in the studio.
And I think that was a response. That was a deliberate response to the fact that actually that's usually when, for us, when the best stuff comes out is when it's quite fresh and not overly rehearsed and overly thought out, I think.
Yeah.
But it's funny though, because every record we've made seems to like have become, we've gradually had less and less time with each record. Like the first record, we feel like we had loads of rehearsal. Second one, slightly less. Third one, even less. It's because everyone's getting busier and busier with different things and different commitments. but then it doesn't really seem to make much difference because we're still able
I
to.
think we know each other.
an album.
We know each other better musically, I suppose, and as people. So you can kind of rely on that familiarity. I think.
And I
I
think
think-
like we said before, like I think we've always have quite a lot of songs, I think, in the pot. Like we all have extra. So if you bring stuff and you try things out, and if things work, like we said, it kind of works. You're like, oh great, and everyone kind of knows what their place is. Like
I
with
quite
the
like
help
that
of
about the
Andy as
Furrows.
well.
Like you'd just be doing a thing, a song. Or I remember that maybe it was on Wild Hog when we were doing something, and we all knew each other a lot better then. And then you'd just be like, yeah, have you got anything else? And then and then somebody goes, oh yeah, I've got like these 20 traditional songs. Do you want to pick any of these for the album? And then and then generally what happens is you're doing a song, and then halfway through a take, Lucy will drift off, and you can see her gazing off into space. And then you're all right, Lucy? Oh yeah, I was just thinking, I know this song that came from the same person that collected this song, and it's linked in through this, and so how about we do this song? And then suddenly they work together, and they're a thing. That's quite impressive, I think, as a group of musicians. Like, you've got, it's quite deep, that like all the tradition inside of you is just there, and you are able to access it.
Was it for Wild Hog we went to the Lake District for like a holiday rehearsal, and we came out with like, Ali brought like 30 songs or something. We were like,
that's great.
how are we going to understand? We were like, that's great as well. Oh dear God,
They're all great. Oh my
triple
God.
album.
Brilliant.
Yeah. I do feel like... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying what's next. But
Oh no!
What did you remember, Emily?
Oh, nothing. I'm literally just like remembering it fondly, and just like remembering, because I did have this kind of, this baby with me. It was for me, this baby, this child with me in the studio. So I was obviously quite distracted by that. And for me, it was quite surreal, but kind of amazing to just go into the studio to do my part on a song that I'd only just learned, and to just hear what was emerging. Like, it had for me, that was quite magic to see that happening. So yeah,
I remember that, and I think that actually you played some of your absolute best moments, because I think you were just like a little bit distracted, and you had that to think about, and it stopped you worrying about the what you were playing.
I've got to go in 5 minutes. So.
And you just were like, right, okay, I've got to do this. And actually, I think you just came up with some absolutely beautiful parts.
Oh, that's nice. I think sometimes to be distracted isn't a bad thing in the studio then. Although I don't think I'm going to replicate it to I'm not having another child just for that. But
think of the art, Emily. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
For the sake of art.
Oh, yay.
So this was the killer chords for you, wasn't it, Ali?
Oh, I remember Ali having a moment. This
took the longest. Yeah. This seems really slow. I feel like we do this faster these days.
It's a beautiful tempo, I like that.
It's a nice tempo.
What's the blood upon your sword, my son David? Oh, son David. What's the blood upon your sword?
I rarely see you getting stressed, Ali, but I remember at some point you going. I think it was just like, oh my God.
Beautiful
like
melody, isn't it? It's a really
great.
gorgeous melody, that.
Oh, lady
Beautiful.
mother. Oh,
Yeah.
lady mother.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, and your voice, Ali. Hi.
The great Jeannie Robertson.
Although it was a kind of
He wouldn't
link.
Oh, and
I learned this from Lou Killen. Yeah.
know that
Who
Yeah,
learned
Lou
it from
Killen.
Jeannie Robertson. Yeah.
And Luke Killen, for previous Hudson Listening Club people, Luke Killen was the person who brought Rose in June to John Bowden as well for his last album. Or who John first heard it from.
Did Luca learn directly from
I believe so.
Jeannie Robertson?
I believe so, yeah.
Is the blood of my grey mare.
And it is different because
Lady Mother.
we've tried to sing it together and we had to kind of converge our different versions.
Is the blood of
In-
my grey
I think that's what took a little while because we came at it from those different
Yeah.
but same directions.
It's really hard when you have another version in your head to.
Yeah.
blood runs
It's got a really lovely tempo actually. It's got like
my son.
Ali, this synth absolutely is one of the highlights for me of the album.
Yeah.
I love your solo on this.
Blood runs over
Thanks.
come
I think the synth worked well in the recording context, but when we tried to do it live,
it's
it was a
tricky.
bit temperamental. Remember?
It is the blood of my
This old like 70s analog synth that
old Lady Mother.
It's fun though. Sometimes it was so loud.
is difficult to rein in. It does what it wants to do.
It is the blood of my brother.
I'm stamping and playing a small box.
He
Oh yeah, you're on the cardboard box of this one.
Sterling stamping.
Yeah, thanks. Lucy, you know what you're going to do with this one.
Oh, I love this solo, Ali.
I remember this was my point of worry, this song, because I was just like, is this like Mumford and Sons? Is my banjo part to Mumford and Sons, guys? And I was just suddenly like, what have I done? What have I done to my son David? I think it's alright.
When the sun and the moon meet in yon glen, oh Lady Mother, oh Lady Mother. When the sun and the moon meet in yon glen, and I hope that never shall be.
That's great. I love that melody. Really cool.
Yeah.
It's a really it's an amazing song, that. I really like it. I like its simplicity and the way that it's just a conversation, but it tells the story. Yeah, it's really one of the most beautiful traditional songs, I think.
We're talking, because your introductions on stage, I just remember it being, about a mother and a son, and knowing when your son lies. We were talking about this yesterday, and I've got a 6-year-old, and he's trying to lie a little bit more, but he still goes, when he lies, he's like, can't help but stick his tongue into his cheek and be like, anyway,
Yeah.
imagine.
No always tell.
Just
What
like,
kind of things does he lie about?
just he started to play people
What
off
does he lie
against
about?
each other, and you'll come in and be like,
Nice.
what did someone say? Did someone ask you to do something? Be like, oh? Stuff like that. Have you brushed your teeth? Like,
Yeah. When he tells me the rules of cricket, he does that definitely. When we were playing cricket together, and these new rules kept coming up, and it was like,
oh yeah.
really? You seem to be winning because of these rules.
You have to sit down. Cool. That's great, Great banjo. Not at all Mumford and Sons, I think.
No, I don't think that Mumford and Sons would be seen dead doing My Son David, to be honest. But,
Oh, well, they're missing out.
Yeah,
so
oh
what can I
yes.
say?
Their problem, not ours.
Their problem.
Thank God.
I've not heard
I
much
think
from
I
Mumford
actually
and
know.
Sons
Trying to
for a while.
learn
I've not
Emily's
got the
banjo parts.
Yeah. Just trying to live up
sue
to
Emily.
mother. Oh no, what have I said?
So Down by the Greenwood Side's next. I mean, I must have recorded, I don't know how many versions of this, but this one is you found, Rach, right?
Yeah, so that's another one from this book, Traveller's Joy, which I think might belong to Emily Portman. But
I think you gave it back to me.
I did give it back eventually. I've had it for years, but I give it back to you. Yeah,
I was
Thank you.
I was pleased that it was getting used for many Furrow Collective albums.
Yeah, I think I must have at this point of recording, I must have been looking at it. I think because I knew I was going to give it back.
Quick.
But yeah, I think it was the singing of. Is it Danny? Is it
Brazil?
Danny Brazil. Brazil.
Brazil.
Sorry. But it's spelled Brazil, isn't it? Yeah, I think that it was collected from him in Gloucester, maybe. And yeah, I suppose, yeah, I never really envisaged myself singing a version of The Cruel Mother, really. But yeah, and it's a song that, the only, my favourite version, kind of version is Emily Is Your Song, Borrowed in Blue, from your album Coracle. I love that. I just love that. And that's, I think you talking about that and your response to it made me think that I probably wouldn't find a traditional version that I would want to sing. But this one, I think just because it doesn't really, I quite like ballads that don't really say much, but they say a lot without, in their simplicity, I suppose. And I felt
think
that was...
Yeah. There's lots left to be implied.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I think some versions of The Cruel Mother can be really, really kind of damning and have lots of hellfire, and and I think the fact that you were quite clear that you didn't want to call it The Cruel Mother and it's Down by the Greenwood Sidey, and I think those things do make a difference when you're singing it now and responding to it now and kind of trying to understand the context a little bit more. I mean, yeah, it's a story, but it's also something that happened, and it's I feel like this version definitely, it doesn't have that same ending that sometimes turns my stomach a bit, because it's just so damning of the mother.
Yeah, even though it's quite graphic, but but it is quite graphic in its own way, isn't it? But I really like the tune of it, and I remember us doing this one in, was it Woodworm? And it was another one that just kind of came together quite.
And then I think quickly. We did did we do the keys? There's like a synth in the middle, isn't there? And I think we did that when I was living in Birmingham. I seem to remember. Ali and Rachel playing it together both on the Nod, and
we were
you did it together
because
we were like, how do we keep that key going? And so I think you both did it at the same time.
We duet. Yeah.
Anyway, here it is, Down by Greenwood Side. Oh, sorry, Ali.
I was just saying I had a lot of fun doing the electric guitar. For this one,
went for it.
Just feedback and noise, and
She was walking her father's walk, as she was walking her father's walk, she saw two pretty babes playing the ball. Lay me, dilly, dilly, downward, down by the Greenwood side, oh. She said, pretty babes, if you was mine, She said, pretty babes, if you was mine, I'd dress you in such silk and fine. Lay me, dilly, dilly, downward, down by the Greenwood side, oh. They said, dear mother, when we was yours, you took a penknife long and pierced us.
I was just thinking, I remember watching Ali. There's a massive room at Woodworm, wasn't it?
Dilly, dilly,
And we were
down by the
And we were like up on like a mezzanine
looking
or
down.
something. We were looking down an alley like.
Going for it.
Yeah, you were really.
I think the amp was really loud as well. It's like,
Penknife in the stream. Aye-oh. She washed the penknife in the stream. The more she washed it, the blood stained in. Lay me, dilly, dilly, downward, down by the greenwood side. Oh.
obviously, I should say that
Yeah.
Mort Hewlings made a really beautiful video
Yeah.
for this.
Her back up
I've been watching it
against
recently, actually. It's so good.
She leant her back up against an oak. First it bent and then it broke. Lay me
That's with the piano. I forgot we did that.
down.
Yeah. I really like the piano in it.
Side, oh. Lay me down, me dilly dilly downward, down by the greenwood side, oh.
The interesting thing was the vocals as well. Was like, I remember us trying to. We thought it was going to go into this segue into this next track,
Yeah.
and then trying to start the backing vocals early on, so they kind of became a thing throughout. Maybe I'll just leave it playing actually into the next one.
As I came in by yon castle wall, and down by yon garden green, it was there I spied a bonny lass, but the flower borders were us between, and such a bonny lassie she was, as ever my eyes had seen. £500 would I give to have such a bonny bride as thee. Oh, to have such a bonny bride as me. Young
So I had this
man, your
at
sorely mistaken.
the Stroud Singing Weekend.
If you
It's
were
hosted
the
by Rod
king
and Danny
of
Stradling.
Scotland, I'd
And Rod
disdain
records,
to be your queen.
What's it called? Mustrads. He's got a website and he
Talk not
records
so very
singers.
high,
And,
bonny
it's a great
oh, talk not so very
place to find songs, his recordings. And so I was there over some weekend
at the fair that could
before,
sell.
obviously, we recorded.
He
And
must learn from the
it
man.
was like just really late at night, and he was like, "I've got a song you've got to hear." And he played this, and I was just like,
I'm afar.
yeah, I loved it, and also I like
I
it when songs come to you, like, you know, like not going out to search, but someone was like, "I think you sound really good and singing this," like, or something. I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
they recognise that he was.
yeah." I was like, "Well, I'll try it. Maybe I wouldn't have chosen this song if it hadn't come to me like that way, or you know." But so we changed the ending, didn't we, of this? Do you remember?
Yeah, we had quite a lot of talks about whether it was kind of sexist or something. But I don't know, I can't actually remember how much we changed.
Well, we didn't change it that much, but it was just so I can't even remember the end now. It's such a I mean to climb a far higher wall or to harry a far richer nest. Take this advice from me, my bonny lass. Humility would serve you best. I think we changed the lass to lad, just as a. But anyway.
And the synth thing in the first track, I got completely wrong. And the reason I got that completely wrong was because the Greenwood Side and the Gallic track, which I still can't pronounce, from Wild Hog, that got like caught loads of people's attention and did really well. Those two tracks like sit so well together for me. I guess both of them are Rachel singing, but they both got a really similar vibe. And it was actually that track, the Gaelic track on Wild Hog, that we had the synth thing going on. It wasn't Greenwood Side, but it's
I kind of think of those two.
Similar,
I think of those two as a totally similar thing as well.
I have a really boring question, Andy, but did we actually record any of these to a click track?
No. I don't think so.
It's just
My stamping.
It's just solid stamping.
Steady.
This is solid, steady.
I doubt we did. I very rarely put a click track on anything. I mean, I just did a Sugar Nifty album, and that's got quite a bit of... That's quite clicked. There's a lot of click track on that, just because there's a lot of people and a lot of weird changes going on all over the place. But not really. No, I can't imagine that we did. I wouldn't have thought we would have.
No.
False True Love might have done, but it seems really irregular somehow, but I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Maybe to make me speed up.
Yeah, I feel like there was maybe one, and maybe it was that one. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think I remember playing that.
No, not False True Love. Sorry, False Lover One Back.
Yeah, the third
Both
track.
got the word false in it.
I always get those mixed up.
Yeah.
I just felt like The Cruel Mother I felt slightly wrong, but I was just like, you just kind of, it's got such a good solid beat to it.
I
It's
remember
Rachel.
It is. It's your heart part. It's amazing. It's a really great heart part.
Because I think we just did that together, didn't we, Andy? The harp and the vocal.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And I think it's just because it's just like no. So it's just kind of
ambulance siren part.
Yeah, it's a really great part. Yeah, it's so simple and effective.
Yeah, and I remember you Lucy singing that song. What's it called? Your song just now.
I came in by yon castle
Young Castle Wall. Funny, I don't remember the full title. Snappy title. I remember you singing that. We played it at Hartlepool, and it's just a really striking melody as well.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Well, we kind of had that kind of slightly old feel as well, and I remember us putting those strings on, and that was one of the last things we did in the studio, and I was like, oh, the snow's coming down, I've got to get home because, Helen's about to have a baby.
And I remember us trying to play
like,
those fiddle parts and us being like, God.
Yeah, I think there might have been a bit of editing on those string bits, but you just did like 3 takes. And I just said, just sit there and I'll shove the mics up and we'll go for it. And it works really well.
Because we didn't write up the parts. We're just...
No, it was literally never even played before, was it?
I think we couldn't figure out what to put under that, did we? Because live we ended up with playing the guitar, which
it's totally different live,
works.
isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think it was nice.
Did you try and play the piano?
I think maybe...
There is piano on there.
I think I played piano on the track. Or was it you, Ali?
No, it was you, Rachel.
I tried, but then I think someone else ended up doing it, but I remember trying it.
I think probably Ali tried it, and then we were like, there are other pianists in the room.
Stick to the day job.
Guitar.
I think we wanted to, like, because I think there was quite a few with the guitar, and we thought, we'd have something, just do something a bit different with that one. But actually, live, I think it's just worked so well with the guitar that we're like, let's just do it with the guitar. Yeah. And I think we come in and sing, don't we, on the live?
Yeah, which I thoroughly enjoy.
I know, because we just wanted to sing the whole thing, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. What's next?
Oh, listen to that.
Listen to that. Whenever we do this live, I can tell you're like, how the hell does this go?
Yeah, every time. I think I sometimes have to be like, Ali, how's it go?
It's almost fine though, but you're always like, just that look in your eye before we start.
It's because it's the only time I play the fiddle. I'm like, gee, I've got to...
It's so tiny.
Well, words get up and words get down and words get to the king. And Eliza.
This is another version of a song that Rachel's also recorded before. One about the king and the glorious king.
Oh yeah.
When bells were rung,
Lady Diamond.
Lady Diamond.
song and all
Yeah.
had gone to
Yeah, I did it on my first album. So love.
The king came to Eliza's bower, but he was no welcome guest.
One thing I miss about Glasgow is
And the king has
the
come
Oxfam Records on Byres
Oh
Road.
yeah, it's a good
in
one.
her
It has really good tape selection,
Oh, tell to
and
Eliza,
this is where I bought a tape
tell
of the Singing Campbell's album that has this. This is where it came from.
is
An
to
Aberdeen family.
daughters tell the Lord to any barony. Oh, tell to me, Eliza,
My middle name's Eliza.
and I pray you don't leave.
Little bit of gossip.
Well,
Lucy, this is the one where you say kitchen in a really
Oh, yeah,
Scottish
that's it,
accent.
isn't it? Horrible
Is that
solo.
you, Lucy?
it's too well.
Yeah, that's Lucy
Yeah.
singing.
Boy, what occasion
Jeez,
Andy Bell likes to do this thing where whenever we're doing backing vocals for each other, he likes to just take out our bit of vocal and embarrass us with it. Quite often I'm doing an English accent.
Find the worst part and
I'll be
route
doing a
it.
really English accent, or Lucy will be doing a Scottish accent.
There's another bit in here.
It's a bit of coercive control, really, isn't it? That's the legal.
Just a bit, yeah.
boy, and he dashed him to a tree.
I really like that. Is it banjo? That
Yeah, it's cool.
It's banjo and it's harp, and I think we're both
We're both
kind
doing
of
something totally different
creating
to each other, aren't we?
bits.
Yeah.
Eliza's bower, as a token he'd been there.
This is a pretty grisly one as well.
Farewell,
Yeah.
mother, farewell,
We're
brother.
a pretty groovy band, aren't we?
That's so 70s, isn't it? Groovy, oh my god.
Don't think groovy.
Grisly.
Oh, did you
Oh,
say
grizzly! I thought you said groovy.
Yeah, groovy.
I'll take both.
Father, farewell, mother, farewell, pleasure and joy. He died for me, I'll die for him, though he was but a kitchen boy.
Kitchen boy.
I really like the harmonium or whatever it is on that as well. That oh, bo, 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 bo. It sounds like some kind of like bassoon or something on it. It's cool.
I know, and I was surprised by that. Was that Ali putting on a keyboard part again?
It's a harmonium or
Remember.
something.
All over
Yeah,
it.
it's something organic. It's not a
Bassoon.
synth or anything. I don't think.
I think you played on it. Did you not?
Yeah, I
Was it
think
Giant
it's-
Reaper?
Was it me?
It was you.
I remember just going, what is that sound? So I'd be surprised if it was me. But yeah, that is one of my favourites on the album, I have to say. I love that one.
Love that one.
Yeah, and playing live as well. I always feel like I don't know, it's just got a lot of energy to it.
I was just thinking that I like recording it. Well, anywhere that we're recording, we just sort of go on hunts and find random things. We're like, I feel like this needs this. I just found it in a cupboard. Or no.
Did we do any giant wafer at any wild hog at Giant Wafer?
Yeah. Did we not
Yeah,
do it?
because
Yeah.
that was the one
Yeah.
as well where that's the sort of environment affecting how you put it together. Certainly with this band, like it doesn't always happen with every band. Like sometimes it doesn't really. You could be anywhere. It doesn't really matter. But definitely, like you're saying, Lucy, like going and finding the little Celeste in the cupboard or whatever, all these things. And remember, it's that big bass drum that's gone from the studio now. But it was on so many albums that I did, and that was a lot. I don't know if it went on this one, but it definitely went on Wild Hog. And remember, you were in the toilet, next to the studio doing your drum session and stuff.
I remember that. I've got a photo of that, I think.
It's got a
It was so
toilet.
different from the first album, which was, which was just really basically live. I think there was like maybe one overdub on the record on the first album.
Yeah.
Well, it was just in a village hall, wasn't it, near my old house? Like, yeah.
Yeah, really beautiful, like Unitarian chapel.
Yeah, lovely acoustics.
Stannington.
Yeah, it's just Underbank. I used to live opposite it in the little cottage attached to the chapel, but I lived down the road at the time, and they we did loads of albums in there. Did Spies and Bowden one, and did Lady Maisery's first album is the cover shot is in that room and stuff. But,
yeah, it was a great place.
I remember there was one song we did there on that first album where I'd only just met you. I'd only known you for about 3 days, and my vocal take was so good that I just assumed that you auto-tuned it. Do you remember?
Yeah, you were raging at him.
I was like,
Yeah, you're like, who is this guy?
if you auto-tune my vocal, and then you're like, no, Ali, it's just that you're actually singing in tune. And I was so aware that I was actually singing in tune.
I remember that.
You're about to get a taxi back into town. Go and get the train. Right, I'm not working with
This has been a big mistake.
Big mistake, guys. So last couple of songs that they're kind of woven together again. Does anyone want to talk about them more?
Emily.
Oh yeah, those. So we had our Ship She's Ready, which was I seem to remember it was a new song to me for this album. So some of the songs like My Son David I'd been singing for years, and they just kind of came together for this album. But yeah, that was one I learnt specifically for it. And I think it was from Sarah Macomb, lovely Irish singer, and it just seemed to have a kind of resonance with For I Am a Maid That's Deep in Love, which is another Cecilia Costello song. And it seemed like they could be almost out of the same drama or the same kind of conversation between perhaps between lovers or friends, or so we decided we'd put them together.
Yeah. Here we go.
Our ship, she's ready to bear away. Come, comrades, over the stormy sea. Her snow white wings, they are unfurled, and soon she'll wave in a watery world.
Too many times to be like, wait.
Wait.
Is it wait?
This makes me think, like, just that feeling of singing in harmony together, in a room together. It's just like, it's like a physical, like, yearning for that. When I hear this stuff.
I miss that.
To thee. So farewell, my love.
I'll do that on Zoom.
Audrey, have I told you Audrey started anytime I sing something she goes,
Oh, I know it well. Myself.
For I am a maid that's deep in love, and I dare not once complain, for I'm in.
We're trying to figure out the part for this.
My true love, and Johnny.
This was
Took a long
one.
time.
it's very jumpy, isn't it?
This is difficult.
Oh, Ali. I remember this was so
Yeah.
challenging.
My passage.
She kept adding extra beats and stuff.
You were like, wait, just and then every time you did it was like,
Yeah. What's she doing?
The deep blue sea.
it was worth it though.
Well, the ship it went out gaily, and the wind it did blow fair. And when I reached Columbus shore, no danger did I fear, for it's
I love that
I was
that the song always leads, even if it's not like a
I
regular
am unsure.
thing that makes sense.
So
It's,
would
you don't shift the song.
sea captain
Testament.
bold, oh, would you forevermore? Oh, come back, my pretty Molly. Come back and marry me, for I have a handsome fortune, and it's all I'll give to thee. Oh, it's once I had my own true love, and Johnny was his name. And until I find that lad I love, I'll live and die a maid.
I love the end of that verse. Is the way you hold on love is just slightly different to the rest.
I like that last little harp run.
And this is when you bring back the ooze from the beginning, isn't it?
Yeah, the
so bright as pearl, my lovely dark-haired, blue-eyed girl. And
It's really a low note for me.
Oh, love it, Ali.
I love it.
I hope in Ireland you'll think of me.
Oh. Lucy's loud clap goes at the end.
Oh, we need to hear that clap at least once.
No, it's not. Oh, so nice to hear it.
Yeah, I remember you recording that part, Ali, and just, really enjoying hearing that coming through the speakers, because you were kind of going, I don't know if I can sing it, I don't know, because it was really low in your register, but I think, I love your low voice on this album.
Yeah,
it's great.
Me too.
I think that's the beauty of, just studio stuff. You can really sing so quietly and it does completely change then when you go out. And I think that's one pro of doing it the way we did it. So we didn't practice anything too much, and then it kind of became something different when we went out live, because Ali couldn't sing in that. He couldn't sing that live because it's so low, whatever.
Yeah, it's nice to have those two different versions of the songs, I think.
Yeah. Should do a live album next.
Yeah, well,
I really enjoy playing that one. It's really challenging, the guitar part, but I enjoy that. It's so difficult to play somehow compared to all the other things on the album. But it's a nice challenge.
Yeah, I'll never forget your face. I think we did it a few times, and I was just singing away, just completely. And then I just remember looking at your face, and you're just like, it's really hard.
My fingers are all tied up.
We were having very different experiences of that song. But yeah. Oh, it's been great. It's been great to listen to that. Thanks, Andy.
There's the album if you want to buy it.
Yeah. And thanks, Andy, for producing it. And thank you, Andy, for having the Furrow Collective as your first ever Hudson Records release.
Well, you guys were the reason we set the label up, to be honest. So, it's amazing. And, hopefully once we get out of this, then we'll be able to do some more stuff. So
and I can't wait to sing with you guys again as well.
Me too.
Really miss it.
Yeah, it's one of the things I miss the most.
Yeah.